Ray, what would you do with $1 million?
I'd tell you to do with $1 million, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
That's it? You had $1 million, you'd do 2 chicks at the same time?
Damn straight. Always wanted to do that, man. And I think if I were a millionaire, I could hook that up, too, because chicks dig dudes with money.
Well, not all chicks.
Well, the type of chicks that double up on a dude like me do.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
Yeah, hi, it's Bill hi, it's Bill Lumber. Yeah, it's me again.
Why does it say pepper jam when there is no pepper jam? I swear to God, one of these days I just kick this piece of shit out the window.
Movie deep dives, Mike Story, Big Ray, talking about the ultimate cult classic, 1999's Office Space. It's
Did
awesome.
this define cult classic?
I think so.
This movie did not. We'll talk about it. Did not do well in the box office, but clearly found a cult following through DVD sales and Comedy Central and all that. So yeah, it's one of the best.
Yeah, hi.
I mean, one of the things when I was doing research on this is they didn't even know this was a cult classic. Mike Judge, creator of this, didn't know it was a cult classic until he was in a coffee shop and the baristas were doing Lumbergh lines.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Right.
And they were asking, and they didn't know who he was, so it's not like they were doing it because of him. They were just doing it because they liked the movie.
Yeah, and so written and directed by Mike Judge. He was a household name, but again, people didn't really know what he looked like. $10 million box budget, $12 million box office. So
I mean, that sounds real.
that's nothing. So like when he said that he was surprised with the baristas, it's because he probably hadn't made any money from this film.
He had already moved on and went to the next projects after this just kind of flopped. Not kind of, it did flop.
Next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
So, you can wear a Hawaiian shirt.
And jeans.
We didn't really get the complete memo.
Did you see the memo about this?
But we did our best, right?
You guys, are you not getting the memos about Hawaiian Shirt Day and
know.
TPS reports and all that?
I got little flamingos on here, so...
I don't remember when I first saw it. Like, I didn't see it in the theater, obviously, because no one really saw it in the theater, clearly. But it's one of those movies that it just grows on you. And, like, you see it the first time, you're like, this is good. Next thing you know, like, the characters, and you're quoting it, and then one of your best friends likes it, and then you just can't get off this movie.
I've got different quotes that I say with different people.
Yeah.
That different groups of friends, we have different things that we like. And yeah, like you, I don't remember ever seeing it for the first time, but if it's on Comedy Central, I'm keeping it on.
And it was a DVD, right? Like when
I have the DVD.
Yeah, the DVD was a very sought after, blockbuster, people buying it.
Oh yeah, no, I have like the special DVD that's like a gold like outer casing that you push the DVD through type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
Still have it?
100%.
Hell yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Collectible.
Well, yeah.
It's also just so relatable. Not even, it's awesome like with the office world, right, and corporate business, but even any job. We've all had shitty bosses. We've all had jobs that we don't like. So on that topic, real quick, worst job you guys ever had?
You go ahead, Ray. I got to think about this one. Worst job I ever had.
I'd probably say Meyer Deli because just the incoherence of the management and just the horrendousness of the people that were so mad at me for and all my coworkers for things that we can never control. But
All right, I probably blocked this out why it took me so long to get there. But I worked at Chili's for a little while.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Chotskis?
Eminently relatable to this movie. I worked at Chili's, and it was like if you were not following the procedures that they had in this little book that corporate handed down.
We need to talk about your flair.
I have 15 pieces on.
Well, okay, 15 is the minimum. It's up to you whether or not you want to just do the bare minimum or, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flair on today, okay? A terrific smile.
So, for whatever reason, we got in these huge limes these one time. So, the size of lemons. And the thing said, you cut it into 6 slices. I'm like, if I cut a lemon or lime into 6 slices, it's going to be like that big. How the hell am I going to put that in a Corona? Like, that's what the book says. That's what corporate says we do. Right. So, yes, that was...
And to be honest, that's literally I mean, how much more can you really?
It's what Judge is satirizing here, and it's
100%.
so perfect.
Yeah. How much more can you really get connected with this movie?
You mentioned Meyer. I have a quick story time with Rob for you.
Story time with Rob.
This is great. So my worst job ever is Meyer. Senior year of high school, cashier. Dude, worst job ever. You had to bag and scan. But the story time is I was so lazy and did not want to work there. Didn't make any money. Was so high because it was a stoner back then that I didn't ring up anyone's like produce or fruit because you have to look up what it is. So I would just give it to people. Literally, I'd act like I was pressing buttons. And I had people literally be like, you didn't ring that up. I'm like, I'm trying to give you free shit. But they have secret shoppers there. So they one day they sent 3 straight through with a bunch of produce. Dude, I gave them like $80 worth of free shit. I got written up. It was great. Like just
That's it? Just written up?
Yeah, just written up.
Well, and real quick to add on to what you're talking about, when I was working in the deli and I knew the people, if it was like a friend's parent or something, or if I knew anybody who was there, and they're like, yeah, let me get a half pound of turkey. Boom, ba-da-doom. 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds of turkey, and they'd just be like, yeah, just scan it through.
Fuck Initech, fuck Meyer. That's the thing.
You're never gonna get Meyer, Initech, or Chili's to sponsor this podcast.
No.
So make sure you like and subscribe so that Rob can
get
get this going.
Yeah, and I won't get sued from Meyer.
Yeah.
They knew what happened. You know, but
he did get written up. There's a record.
They know better.
So Roger Ebert has been off and on this pod in terms of reviews for the movies we love. 3 stars, 3 out of 4. So pretty good. I'm surprised.
That's good. I read his review, and I don't understand what it means. Like, I get the 3 out of 4 stars, but this quote treats his characters like little cartoon creatures that works nuances of behavior that are not necessary because in the cubicle, every cubicle world, every personality trait is magnified and the captives stagger forth like grotesques. I don't know what that means.
I had the same exact quote written down from I was going to read.
I don't understand what he's trying to get across there. He liked it though. So
he's trying to say that it's essentially an extension of what he did with his cartoons, but it works because in this environment, right? Everyone's a creature of habit, and everything is like magnified. Everything is important. To where you go out and grab beers with the guys after, you're like, oh, you're nothing like, Samir is or Michael Bolton. You're not this buttoned-up dude. Right. Next thing you know, you're doing lines of coke in the bathroom.
Correct.
Not me. I'm saying other people.
Breakdancing in someone's apartment.
There you go, right? He's stealing money from the company. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the categories here because there is a lot to get into. Best scene. First one I have here is the morning commute, just the opening scene.
Oh, yeah, I have opening scene.
The mariachi music. Fucking love the fact that he's changing lanes hell, which we've all been in. We live by Chicago, suburbs of Chicago, right? You can never pick the right lane. It's always the wrong lane.
Well, and to be honest, real quick, and just to add on with that scene, I think it really just sets up really well with how this movie's going to set up, and just to show how miserable Peter is. You know what I mean? It just shows every little knick-knack in his life. It just goes wrong, and it's just his life.
But he's done this drive thousands of times, and he's still pissed. So he hasn't realized the fact that it's not going to change.
Samir. All 3 of them.
So Samir just getting pissed. Shitting fucking cocksucking fuck!
Yeah. Mother shitter, son of a ass! You, I just...
And then my favorite part of the scene, though, is Michael Bolton listening to Scarface, rapping along to it.
Got my pistol point cocked. Ready to link shots non-stop till I see your monkey ass drop.
And then he's so into it, and he sees this innocent. Yes, he's an African-American man, but he's
selling
flowers. And he locks his doors and turns the music down and like stops rapping.
Cause when it comes to this gangster shit, you motherfuckers know running. We standing up for our own shit. And if you with this motherfucker to the test, you gotta realize something, nigga.
The next scene I have here, I just have written down Lawrence. Just meeting Lawrence. Just yelling through the wall like, hey, Peter, man, check out this chick.
Hey, Peter, man, check out Channel 9, check out this chick.
Like, and it just showed 1999 too, that it's like, back then, internet wasn't what it is now. Like, breast exams, which is what it is, and chicks naked on TV was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Even though these are 30-year-old men, right?
I mean, there was a thing called, it was called, Cinemax, and we all knew it as Skinemax. So.
Right, the after 10 o'clock, you got the good programming on.
Correct.
Just everything he says, though, is amazing. Like, I got to wake myself up, my ass up at 6 a.m. Yeah, I'm doing the drywall at the new McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm doing the drywall up there at the new McDonald's.
Like, just the way he delivers it, we all know that guy, like the super simple construction worker, but he's way happier than Peter is.
Well, I know a guy that literally hangs drywall. That is. I mean, he's not
You wish
Lawrence
he
to a
was.
T, but he's pretty fucking laid back, man.
And then just
we can swear on this pod, right? This is a rated R movie, so yeah, okay.
The two chicks at the same time, just that whole exchange. We'll get into that later, but just how serious he is when he leans in. Like, it's like he'd been waiting his whole life for someone to ask him that.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
He's like, oh, I'll tell you what I'd do, man. Like, fuck. It's a cool thing to do, but like, it doesn't really fit the criteria of the question.
Well, no, and the fact that literally the complete unreal seriousness that he has in his look at him.
Right, even though it's kind of a joke question, and his answer is definitely a joke. I mean, not to him, but it's like, that's not what you expect.
No.
You expect, like, I'll start a business, and like, what Samir says, where he's like, the mutual fun thing, like, he's just like, I'd fuck 2 chicks at the same time, man.
Low risk mutual.
yeah, right, but not of course the fucking, dirtbag, redneck. He's just like white trash guy.
Yeah.
2 chicks at the same time, man.
Dirtbag redneck. Next scene, Smikowski and Michael Bolton's meeting with the Bobs.
That's definitely on mine.
You get Smikowski freaking out, just like, what would you say you do here?
What would you say you do here?
And I have people skills. I'm
deal
good
with the
at
goddamn
dealing
customers.
with people. What the hell is wrong with you people?
I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Like, he just escalates that interview when they're just being calm, and he pretty much ruins his job right there.
Oh, no, fact. No, 100%.
Because he's clearly not going to deal with people.
By the way, though, real quick, I wish that I would have a job like that from, like, the 60s or 50s and just, like, make that your career until computers became a thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this comes about. You know what I mean? Where he's just like,
well,
what are you doing
my
here?
secretary does.
Or the fax.
Or they're faxing.
But you do sometimes bring up, no.
I mean, sometimes.
And then Michael Bolton, the whole celebrating, the Bobs loving Michael Bolton and being smitten by the fact he has the same name. He fucking hates Michael Bolton.
You are Michael Bolton?
Yeah.
Is that your real name?
Yeah.
Are you any relation to the pop singer?
No, it's just a coincidence.
Vic, I'll be honest with you. I love his music. I do. I'm a Michael Bolton fan.
But you must really love his music, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty good, I guess.
You're goddamn right he is.
He's a no talent ass clown. And just, I celebrate the guy's entire catalog.
I celebrate the guy's entire catalog.
And then essentially loses his job by saying, you can call me Mike. Because if he just dove into this, what's your favorite song?
Dude, he could have blown at his job, and he could have just dove in with that for literally his entire life. And
I don't know. I think the Bobs were on a mission to cancel as many people as they could.
But if he had really embraced the Michael Bolton angle, they could never fire Michael Bolton.
I mean,
he celebrates the
right?
guy's entire catalog.
I mean, think about
I
it.
don't know if it gets any better than when he sings "When a Man Loves a Woman."
For my money, I don't know if it gets any better than when he sings "When a Man Loves a Woman."
Do you know Michael or what's his name? Herman. He improvised that No Talent Ass Clown.
Yeah. There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old, and that No Talent Ass Clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
Next scene, I have All Things Drew. Lawrence and Drew are 2 of my favorite side characters of all time in movies.
Facts.
And there's 2 scenes with Drew, right, where he kind of comes out of nowhere when they're in the cubicle.
Oh, yeah.
And just the story about Smikowski.
Did you guys hear about Tom Smikowski?
But they got laid off?
No, man, check it out. Last week, right after he found out he was getting laid off, he goes home and tries to kill himself by running the car in the garage.
Is he dead?
No, man, check it out. That wife of his comes home early from work and catches him. So he tries to play it off like nothing happened.
I was having some trouble with the shifter here.
You okay, Tom? Then as he's looking at her, Yeah. He decides he wants to live. But then, as soon as he backs out of his driveway, he gets slammed big time by a drunk driver.
Is he okay?
Sort of. He broke both his wrists, legs, a couple of ribs, his back. But check it out, he's gonna get a huge settlement out of this. Like 7 figures. He's getting out of the hospital tomorrow. He's gonna throw a big party this weekend to celebrate. We're all invited. I'm thinking I might take that new chick from logistics. Things go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
He's so happy and like excited. It was like the best story ever, epic for him. The other guys are just horrified because he literally somehow Smokowski tried to kill himself. He backed out and got slammed big time by a drunk driver. And, you know, he gets a settlement. And, like, is he okay? Well, a couple broken wrists, broken leg.
No. He says he breaks his wrists, legs, both wrists, both legs,
both ankles,
and his back and his neck.
But hey, he's gonna get a huge settlement.
And then
7 figures.
And then when they go to the fucking barbecue, he says, "Lucky son of a bitch." It's like, okay, you literally see. That's when we actually see him. Like, and you think to yourself, are you really that lucky?
It's way worse than even described because he's literally a walking cast. I mean, a sitting cast, essentially.
Yeah, which he probably won't use his
But he thinks he's so lucky, too, because he got this settlement.
Yeah, good things can happen. Look at me.
He made the jump to the conclusion, Matt. You know, he wouldn't have done that without it, so, yeah.
And then also the next Drew scene, which is the extension at the barbecue when he's talking about, make sure you wear a rubber, dude.
Yeah. All right, Peter. Right on. Make sure you wear rubber, dude.
Why's that, Drew?
Are you kidding me? She gets around. All right.
She does she?
Oh, yeah, like a record.
Yep.
He's talking about Joanna.
Make sure you wear rubber, dude.
She gets around like a record. Like, he's just so happy. Like, lumber fucked her. And then it kind of goes to, like, almost Saving Private Ryan, like everything goes mute, but you still see him like naming off guys and just like so happy. Drew is just legendary, and like the way they use these characters, right? I want more of them, but the fact that you don't get more is a good strategy because when they're on, when you're rewatching it,
sometimes less is more.
It's like Drew,
100%, dude.
Because he would never be as good as the scenes we're talking about.
No, because like you just said, like less is more. It makes you like a little bit of time is. To be honest, like you said, Drew, what's he probably on? Honestly, what, maybe a minute?
2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, realistically. And yet, to your point, if they put him in for 20 minutes, would it make him as good? No. So.
What scenes do you guys have? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I have the hypnosis scene, just because the whole thing with, the therapist.
Yeah.
And him just slowly, you just see him dying slowly the way, just deeper and deeper. And
way down.
And
3, deeper and deeper, way down.
And you just see the sweat just building on his head.
And Peter's just in fucking La La Land.
Oh, dude, 100%. And then just that whole, the whole thing with that, and then also the copy machine. Or the fax machine, whatever. Is it the fax machine?
I think it's a copy machine.
It's a printer.
Is it a printer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I didn't know what it was.
It was one of the
printer.
3. I'm sorry. Now we have machines that have all 3 these days, but yes. So that.
Love letter. What the fuck does that mean?
I mean when they
destroy
with the music, the shot angles, and just everything about that scene is just so epic. And it's just hilarious. So.
Yeah, that's my number one is them destroying the printer.
And the music too.
The music,
Perfect.
It's in slow mo. It's filmed like they're mafiosos, like
especially because
beating up or killing a guy.
Because they got the button up shirts with the ties and they all look good.
Peter's the Don, hands in the bat.
Back up in your ass with the resurrection. Is the head low and never let go. Cause if I let go, then I'll be fuckers free to go. I touch ownership that they be leaving out. I've seen this motherfucker
So that's my number one. 2 and 3 is the Bob's interviewing Tom, followed by the Bob's interviewing Michael Bolton for all the reasons that we talked about. And then I think this is the funniest scene in the movie. It's the guys trying to figure out how to launder money, and then Orlando Jones coming in as snagging sales. And Peter's like, how big of nerds are we? We're looking up how to launder money in a dictionary. And
to conceal a source of money doesn't really help us, Michael.
I can't believe what a bunch of nerds we are. We're looking up money laundering in a dictionary.
That's when
My cousin's a coke head. You know? He's like, we know any coke dealers. My cousin's a coke head.
Well, and you know what's funny is that was talk about Apex. Sorry to re-get early on that, but I just thought of it. I mean, that was like Orlando Jones.
Brother's a coke head.
Well, his Apex has got to be 7-Up, right?
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, this is his time of being in movies.
100%. Yeah,
he
went away fast. Okay, what's aged the best? Story.
Yeah, corporate culture and the office environment. I think Mike Judge nailed it, and it continues to be this way, especially when you're talking about companies wanting people to come back into the office after COVID and all that.
And how has it not changed in 25 years?
It hasn't. It literally has not changed in 25.
It's insane.
It's if you've worked in an office, it's the exact same. Restaurants like Tchotchkes, I know that TGI Fridays got rid of their flair, but my God, you go in there and it's the same nonsense. I think in 90-minute movies, right? I love good movies like The Matrix that are long and have a lot to say. When you stretch out a movie, and Rob, you and I were talking about this, like Knocked Up, right? That's like 2 hours and 15 minutes for a comedy.
It could be an
way
hour
too
40.
long. This is a nice, tight 90-minute comedy.
Super tight.
And then finally, Mike Judge as creator, writer, director. His comedies are absolutely timeless, right? You could throw on anything that he's done, and it speaks today as much as it did 30 years ago, and it's just as funny.
And he kind of like changed the game a little bit because no one was really doing comedies like this then, and they're not doing them now because there are no comedies, but that 2000, 2015, The Office alone, the show, didn't exist yet. So he kind of broke the mold of slapstick, the Jim Carrey shit, all that.
Over the top, exaggerated, all that kind. Like King of the Hill is a perfect example.
Well, and that's why I was gonna say that Mike Judge is easily one of my favorite comedic minds out there because exactly King of the Hill is easily one of my favorite shows. And when you come down to it, to where the way that he makes comedy come out, it is over the top, but it's not like South Park over the top or Family Guy over the top. It's a different over the top that isn't crude, but it's so relatable that when you either over the top, you've met one person or one interaction in your life, but you understand that, it's genius.
Ray, what do you got for Age the Best?
So I have Age the Best. I have so just getting out of work. To be honest, just like how when originally in the movie, when Lawrence tells him just turn off your answering machine,
Right.
Well, in reality, now we all have cell phones. If you want to be that guy, you can just turn your cell phone off and just never be heard from. And it's basically, in a way, it's the same, And then I also just have, just in general, with the whole, just the what would you do with the $1 million? Because I think that's just always the thing that people, even to this day, even though the $1 million is obviously devalued, but nonetheless, that's just a thing that people will always talk about randomly.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do?
Age-old question,
like $1 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. I don't know. I just think that's just something that's definitely aged really well.
So my first one was similar to what you said. It was just the idea of downsizing an industry.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Corporate layoffs,
Still
or just
happens.
layoffs in general.
Fact.
Where there's no reason for it. It's just so Bill Lumberg's stock can go up 1/4 of a point. That's why he did it. Why they did it. The hacking scheme aged the best. I mean, the fact that this is kind of before. I wouldn't say pre-internet, but this is like the birth of the internet. This is when Y2K was still a thing. So
well, this is when normal people like us would probably maybe didn't even have a computer.
Now they might say that it aged the best in Superman 3 because they imagine that. Yeah, did it in Superman 3.
You ever seen Superman 3?
I have not. Have you?
Why is that
it's
really
got
a thing?
Richard Pryor. It's got Richard Pryor in it. That's his whole. That's a scheme that kicks.
So the hacking thing is
there
real.
is a scene.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is
Wow.
a scene. It's a pretty funny. It's a goofy movie.
I had "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangsta," like that song, because I'm
When
not
you
really
hear
a hip-hop
that,
guy.
how
but
do you
that's-
not think of this
that's
movie?
this movie? It was perfectly used.
I'm
Right?
sorry. I had the music in general. The soundtrack is just unreal.
I mean, just that song though is tied to this movie forever.
Yep.
Jennifer Aniston aged the best. I mean, she's starting to look a little rough now. Let's the plastic surgery's
Yeah,
coming
but
back
we're
around.
the
She's still
Millers,
solid.
which was like what, maybe like 2013, 14, something like that. And
Horrible Bosses, 2011, and she's hot as
still
fuck.
looks- yep.
Also, her career as well aged the best because this is frenzy time, but she parlayed this movie into.
I mean, hey, talk about a career that she started in Leprechaun all the way to where she is now. So
Shit, I forgot about
Is that her first movie?
Yeah.
Leprechaun,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these guys, because I know Paul Rudd's first movie is Halloween 6.
Right, yeah.
Johnny Depp's first movie is Nightmare on Elm Street.
That I did know.
So
I
they
didn't know
go with
about
some
Paul
weird
Rudd,
ones. Yeah. Oh, he's really weird and creepy in that movie. And the last one is just the quotes age the best, and we're gonna get into those. But just for what this movie is, it may be the most quotable of movies I know. the people that like the movie, like it's just because it works in real life.
It's hard to argue.
You're not just saying quotes just to say them. It's like when the situation arises, which is going to happen all over the map at work or with friends.
Well, that's what makes this movie is that it's honestly, it doesn't matter, to be perfectly honest, what job you do. Like we can sit here and start naming literally all levels of different jobs. You could be a janitor at a prison to being a high level engineer, you know?
Yeah.
And
you
nonetheless, you can relate to this type of movie.
So, in internet research, I don't want to give away too much, but so Madonna apparently loved this movie and like reached out to Mike Judge. And Madonna has been a star since she was like, what, 16?
Right.
She's never had a boss like we have, you know? But she probably has a Lumberg.
Ray's his own boss.
She probably has a Lumberg in her life. Whether it be a manager or
an agent, or
you know what I'm saying, like someone that she despises that just makes her life a living hell.
Maybe not Britney Spears level, but yeah, something like that.
Right. That's Austin Powers. What's aged the worst? Kick it off, story.
Yeah, so you could lump all three of these in together. It's old computers, old Mac computers, floppy disks in particular, because they load the software in floppy disks, and answering machines, right? Like the shutting down of the Mac computer, the floppy, like none of that stuff exists anymore. We live in a world that is far beyond that.
Well, we do back up computers, but we all remember back then. To your point, like that.
But shutting down your computer, taking the time that kicks the whole movie off.
How great is the answering machine scene though? Like we should have had that for best scenes.
I'm not arguing that it's not
like
funny.
that's Lumberg's best,
but also the floppy disks, like imagine doing that, but passing a flash drive. Like it doesn't have the same impact.
Hi.
I stepped away for a minute. Thought you might have called.
We did start at the
that
normal
is also
time today.
I mean, because that's and I think I don't.
It's not a half day.
By the real quick, where do you guys think this takes place? I think it probably takes place
Texas.
I was thinking somewhere like Pennsylvania or something.
No,
I was like a Northwest.
It's pretty well known that it takes place in
Texas.
Texas.
Is it Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Go on.
Yeah. Y2K, right? A big build up to absolutely nothing. Everybody was really worried about that. And then there's a couple of instances of making light of office shootings, right? It doesn't really age too well. Yeah. And then the Chachi guy, it doesn't really age too well.
Even David Herman's like, I thought you were going to come in and start shooting, man. Yeah. Like, it was so casual. Back then it was, because it didn't happen as often.
It probably still, those jokes still exist, but it's a faux pas these days.
Very much, because it's going to happen. Right.
I had a lot of his. The one that I didn't, that he didn't have, that I have, I would say just Door or Salesman. With Will Jones,
magazines.
and that was another one, just in general magazines. And I know they're still out there.
What am I going to do with 40 subscriptions to Vibe?
And that's another.
Why does he buy the same magazine?
Like 40.
You think Vibe's not going to be like, what the?
Because I used to get ESPN. I got Sports Illustrated was huge. But like now. I read that.
You're not like subscribing to like Essence.
I like Penthouse.
Okay, Penthouse.
So I had Y2K, I had technology, but also just so much paper. Like the TPS reports and just so much paper. The internet. You talk about the computers and all that, but like how long it takes them to shut down the computer and just also to download. So I was born in '88, so I remember this specifically as a young horny man trying to download porn. A picture, not just like a video.
No, just a picture.
It took like 5 minutes, bro. And I'd print them out, I'd hide them in my room, and I'd jerk my fucking.
Remember how long the printer used to take to print that stuff out? Like,
it literally you see like the hair,
and then one of the inks would run out like halfway through, and so you've got like a
black and white titty.
Right, and I had to I was looking over my shoulder. I was like Peter, like trying to get out of work. I'm like, okay, I got this much time. Got to download this porn pic. Awful, just a tit pic. Porn nowadays are just like, I can watch this BBC gangbang right away at my fingertips. Yeah. Better times now.
Fun times.
Well,
but we earned that fucking tip. Milton Stapler and the stapler business had to have taken a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like back then there was so much paper, you needed staplers. And like at my work, we still do use staplers and we have paper. But like back then, everything was paper.
Right.
So you needed staplers. So the stapler industry had to go.
How are companies like Boston and Swingline still in business? Like, who's buying a stapler? I don't remember ever buying a stapler.
Because there's already so many in circulation.
Exactly what I'm saying.
You said the Chotskys and TGI Fridays thing for Age of the Best. I have for Age of the Worst. I know there still exists, but like not the numbers aren't as high. And because people are hipsters, people like the dive bars now. They like the high end place, like the Corner Grind and Elbert, and like these kind of things.
Things like
so
that.
the chain, the Chili's, like they're still around, but they've taken a hit. You go in there, it's fucking ghost
TGI
town.
Fridays just closed 38 restaurants.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know TGI Fridays.
I still like them because the deals are unreal, but it's a ghost town. There's no one at the bar.
Yeah, for sure.
So I will. Quick story time. We were up in Minnesota around Christmas. We were doing some work up there, and we were in Minneapolis. Everything was closed down because it's like a Tuesday, right? The only thing that was open by our hotel was a TGI Fridays. It was slammed in there, like every seat at the bar. People were waiting, standing, because that's the only place that's open in like a 15-mile radius.
No, but and I will agree that where somewhere like where we live here in the Tri-City area, to your point, these type of places will close down easily. But what you're talking about,
Yuppies ain't going to
cows.
TGI Fridays.
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
I also had, the shooting up the office jokes. They mentioned it 4 times, although funny, not tasteful. And then $1 million has aged the worst because it's now like $250,000.
Right, yeah.
And you can still do well with that, but like back then, $1 million was still debatably enough to retire on. And if you want to go move to Kentucky, you can live a great life.
If you were going to do what Samir said, you could probably retire.
Now you have to go to Mexico to make that last.
Right. So
Your
$1 million
whole
in
life.
1999 is worth $1.9 million today.
So half.
Wow.
Yeah.
500,000.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
That is sadly insane.
That is pretty cool.
The episode of Seinfeld where Jerry starts banging Elaine again and they're just going to be friends.
Yep.
He gives her $182 in cash. I looked it up. That's like $400.
It's a good gift.
Who the hell are you giving $400 to?
Casting what Matt Damon was originally cast as Peter. He's a little too powerful, not as monotone and like downtrodden. But I think
This is after Good Will Hunting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could do this.
He could, but he doesn't have the same everyman appeal that Ron
Right.
Livingston does.
And he's also a big star, so I feel like he just didn't want a big star.
It wouldn't. I don't think it would have aged the same way if this was Ron Livingston's
Not at all.
like
is Peter,
I'm with you
right?
for sure. Yep.
Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson auditioned for Lawrence, which is strange because that's a really small part. And Owen Wilson, terrible for that role.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Vince
Vince Vaughn can do it.
Yeah,
But no one's going to do Lawrence like Lawrence, man. I'm so happy with
Dietrich
Lawrence we got.
Bader.
Kate Hudson for Joanna. They wanted Kate Hudson. I do like Kate Hudson.
I'd say I could see that.
But Jennifer Aniston, that would have missed. And then this is actually one of the all-timers here. Artie Lang from Milton.
Artie Lang, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That would have been interesting.
Which Milton is kind of a, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Milton. I know he's like kind of on the cover of the movie, and he's like...
I love Stephen Root.
old,
I'm a big Stephen Root guy. So.
I was going to say, Stephen Root, Mike Judge saw what Stephen Root did. He took his original cartoon and took it to the next level. Mike Judge absolutely loved what Stephen Root did.
Have you guys seen Artie Lang recently? So his nose caved in. Dude,
does it look better now?
No, he refuses to fix it because...
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, he doesn't. He wants to be reminded. But the
it,
fact that Artie Lang lives...
Yeah, no, it's punched in, bro.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other casting what ifs? That's all I could really find.
Not a casting what if, but I thought it was interesting that the studio insisted on a big name actress for Joanna if they let Mike Judge put his regulars in there, including Stephen Root and Herman and that kind of thing. So they insisted on a big name, and so they chose Jennifer Aniston simply because she was at the height of her Friends fame.
Yeah.
So it's not a what if, but I thought that was really interesting. Like they wanted a big name actress to be able to bill and sell this movie.
All right, recasting couch. This is Mike's story segment. We just fill in the fucking voids or nitpick his bullshit. What do you got?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's your segment.
So I'm doing this as if I was recasting this today. So these are all current. All right. Peter Gibbons, easy one. Jesse Plemons. Fucking love Jesse Plemons in what's the Friday Night Lights, right?
Yep.
Great. Joanna, Jennifer Lawrence. So you need a big name actress. There you go. Milton, Mike Myers. Go with him. Bill Lumberg. I'm gonna go with Ed Helms because he's got that dickish quality to him. Michael Bolton. I'm gonna go with Zach Woods. So I'm pairing up Zach Woods and Ed Helms from The Office.
The Office. So okay, I can see that.
And then pairing up Samir with Michael. Samir would be Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
Lawrence would be Seth Rogen. The Bobs would be Ben Stiller and Ricky Gervais. Smokowski would be Jack Black.
Yeah. Yep.
Steve, who's the magazine salesman, Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he could do tremendous with that.
Yep.
Anne would be Leslie Mann because I hate Anne. I hate Leslie Mann. So
Okay.
Brian,
She's anorexic too, so that's perfect for Leslie Mann.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Chachki's waiter. That's Christopher Mintz-Plasse. He's McLovin.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
So Chachki's manager. That's Mike Judge in the movie.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to go with Andy Dick for that. Drew would be Cameron Monaghan. Dr. Swanson, going to be Rainn Wilson. And then Dom, who's the other guy that's along with Bill, that's going to be Luke Wilson. So back to the Wilson brothers.
Very nice. What do you got, Ray?
So I got. I would have Peter. I honestly, I think Luke Wilson would be interesting, just to bring that
old school energy, dude.
Yeah, right. That's what I was sort of thinking.
Very good.
Michael, I was thinking Bill Burr would be pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking also Joanna, maybe Tara Reid, even though I know it would be maybe more for looks than acting, but nonetheless, I don't know. That's just sort of thinking for her with that. I was thinking for Samir. I was thinking for Bobby Lee.
Who's Bobby Lee?
He's from Mad TV, the Asian guy.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
that's good. It's pretty limited because
it's another Mad TV alum, right?
Yeah.
David Herman.
Yes. So correct. So
Mike Judge, obviously a lot of Orlando Jones, a lot of MTV alums in this.
So I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking. I don't know.
Mad TV.
I think Mad TV, right? I don't know. I love the guy. And then also I was thinking for Lawrence, you could have Norm Macdonald or Danny McBride.
Well, yeah, Danny McBride.
I think Danny McBride's a good one. Yeah,
right up his wheelhouse.
I was just thinking Norm McBride for just Norm Macdonald just for like the way he could. It'd be a different character.
Yeah, it'd be more
it'd be a different take, but
more of a smart ass.
Sure.
I did mine for 1999. My recast. Paul Rudd for Peter. He'd be younger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be good.
Paul Rudd is just when he hates his life. You just know he hates his life.
Fact.
Bryan Cranston for Lumbergh.
Okay.
Bryan Cranston's great.
I know,
he can do anything.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Michael McDonald, a Mad TV alum for Michael Bolton.
Yeah, okay.
I know it's not the same
but
ghetto
it's
energy
Stewart.
in terms of
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you please help me? Fine. Look what I can do.
Now it wouldn't have the same like hip hop thing that he has, but you could kind of change the character. Wilford Brimley for Smikowski.
That's good.
Now that's just like mostly just the body double.
Yeah, no, but right, but still.
He can get pretty pissed in that commercial.
Yeah,
he can
right,
get pretty
right.
pissed. And this is one of my favorites is Gwyneth Paltrow for Joanna.
Yeah,
I
can
love
see that.
Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm a big fan of her. I thought she should have had a better career. She'd been in some big stuff, but
she's fucking crazy now.
I was like, hey, she's in
I
Marvel
don't give
and
a
she
fuck.
sells her vagina candles. So
okay,
she's fine.
Internet research. When Aniston got the part, it was supposed to be a smaller part for Joanna. They added the flare scene, the flipping off thing,
Right,
and but they also had her involved in the sex dream sequence, and they took that out. So I think you add more to the movie with the flare scene because I do like that scene. As of 2003, which is only 4 years after the movie, it sold 2.3 million copies on DVD. So it made more money in those 4 years on DVD than it made in the box office by a mile.
Oh no, 100%.
Like 10
which
times
I
as
think
money.
definitely accumulates to being a.
And that's only as 2003. Now DVDs don't really exist. I think one of you mentioned this. The PC load letter scene was not scripted. Michael Bolton had more lines to say to Peter when he's going there, but it works out perfect because he hits it and he's just.
Well,
so
as soon as
pissed.
he just says "motherfucker,"
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
and he punches it and it goes. It's great.
Milton was based on a coworker Judge used to work with, and he said he was going to quit because he was asked to move his desk around too many times. So I think like the idea of Milton plus, I think that he added in the moving your desk 4 times just because of that.
Oh yeah.
And it's a little played out, but when he has to move and he finally does move into the basement,
Well, I'll add on to
and ask him to take care of the cockroach problem.
What you
want to do is get yourself a flashlight and a can of raid.
Yeah.
When did you say, Milton, you know what would be great?
Wait, no.
Since you're down here, it would be really great if you could just sort of take care of the cockroach problem we've been having in here.
No, that's really not my job.
Now, why don't you go ahead and get yourself a flashlight and a can of pesticide and...
I don't know. Real quick though, to add on, to be honest, that's why I love Mike Judd because I love again going back to the King of the Hill thing. Boomhauer. That's based on a person who called in to their office and was just bitching how stupid their show was, or Beavis and Butthead was. And basic character, so it's basing real life experiences. Just I don't know, it just makes
Milton and Boomhauer have a lot in common. Just
fact.
The way they talk.
The
I had 2 more. In 2018, Ass Clown was added to the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I love that. If that's his one, thing he contributed to society, the Ass Clown is now a word. And then John C. McGlinley, Bob, the taller Bob, wears braided belts as his suspenders. If you
Yeah, I
notice
saw
they're
that.
braided.
No, that
I
was
saw
amazing. I
Like,
love him.
that's fucking weird, but like
I
great.
love it. But it makes his character.
And he
just-
So many.
Changed them, too.
The other fashion faux pas is Lumberg wears suspenders and a belt.
Correct.
You wear one or the other. You don't wear both.
What, yeah, 'cause they do the same
The
thing,
accessories,
so.
baby. You gotta fucking.
This isn't
hard.
an internet research fact, but it's weird that both Bobs wear medic alert bracelets, which I did not see until I rewatched it for this pod. They're both wearing medic alert bracelets.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit.
and I have no idea why. I googled as much as I could, and it's only been pointed out. Nobody has any reason why they both wear them. It's weird.
So you know what? That means we need to go to a Comic-Con with Mike Judd, and there you go.
I would ask him what's
There's your
going on.
question.
Yeah. So some other things I did read about Milton and Bill Lumberg being based on characters, but Judge worked as an engineer in a similar office.
Correct.
So that's where he got this from. TPS reports. TPS stands for Test Program Set.
It's a real thing.
Yep, it's a real thing. This one is interesting. Production painted a regular Swingline stapler red after Swingline refused a sponsorship opportunity, like a product placement, because they thought that they couldn't sell it en masse, right? They thought they wouldn't sell in bulk. But afterwards, so many people called Swingline looking for a red stapler that they brought it back. They originally had a red stapler.
Well, so
they brought it back.
They discontinued it.
Yeah, and they brought it back.
Right.
It's possible, not verified, that TGI Friday stopped or revamped their server tire, got rid of their flare because of this movie. That hasn't been verified. And then this one's interesting. The cult following of the movie led to an offer from NBC for Judge to produce the American version of The Office. The British version had been out, but they sent him a tape of The Office and notes on why this was different than his Office Space. And he's like, nah, fuck that. But Greg Daniels, who was a producer on Office Space, he ended up creating the American.
Which they also
The
worked
Office.
together on King of the Hill. So
Yes. And this one's not a movie fact, but you guys saw the birthday scene?
Yep.
Bill Lumberg's 41st birthday?
Yes, sir.
I'm 41 years old.
Oh.
So how's it feel?
How fucking depressing
How's
is that?
So how's that feel?
You're Lumberg.
Hey, Lumberg!
What do you got, Ray? You got any
Well,
other
hell,
ones we didn't
Lumberg
mention?
fucked her. I know it's different Lumberg, but...
Okay, nitpicks. Ray, lead it off, man.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it.
As a big Ray, the cake scene with Milton. I have a nitpick about that.
What is it?
It's just the fact that who the fuck is like somebody that close to where the cake is being passed?
Doesn't get
Did-
one.
And you
the,
do not
the people
get...
to cake ratios. And then,
I don't know. Again, as a big Ray, I
This
just always
happened
had
last
this feeling. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Corporate accounts payable wouldn't be getting 12 calls in a row at 10 in the morning.
Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment. Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment.
Dude.
Right? And like
Corporate accounts payable. Nina speaking.
Okay, so
just a
is
moment.
she the one taking the calls on hold? Do they have someone else? Because that's 12 calls and no one's
Now
on
that you
hold
think
for
about
20
it, why would
minutes.
corporate accounts payable have a cubicle that's next door to a software engineer?
She sounds like a lot of time. She
It's also
sounds
just
like she
ignoring.
sounds like she got fired.
But-
She sounds like a Tom.
It's just great for the movie, right? Just in his dreams, he's literally having nightmares about.
But is it
Corporate
great
accounts
because
payable,
I'm-
Nina speaking.
I don't know.
Just a moment.
I don't know about you two, but I would kill myself if I had this job. So
How does a chick not know Michael Bolton and Samir and how his last name is pronounced? How does she not know how to pronounce the name and Michael Bolton's in the office? 50 people work in this office. She does the mail apparently. She would know. They've been there 5 years.
okay, yeah,
So-
that is a big nitpick. It's like
Come
one
on.
thing if you're there for a couple months. Yeah.
So I mean, especially the Michael Bolton thing. That's really noticeable. Not pronunciating that name, maybe, but you think you'd want to know it because it's kind of racist if you don't. Not gonna work.
Not
here
gonna
anymore.
work here anymore.
The job seems awesome. So Peter's bitching about his job,
Mm-hmm.
and we've all, we have jobs at Meyer, and we don't anymore. But still, he makes decent money. He's got a townhouse by himself, pretty decent townhouse. His car isn't great, but this is what you see in the first scene. He says he always comes in late. That's pretty cool. Goes to the back door so Lumberg doesn't see him. He does 15 minutes of actual work a week, and gets paid for that. He takes a break on Monday within the first hour he's there. He's allowed to do that, and then after that, they're hanging out in fucking Michael Bolton and Samir's cubicle for an hour. So he does no one. It seems really even though Lumberg's really hands on, like you gotta fear him as a boss. You can do all those things and not have repercussions.
And also, that's
I have to work when I go to work. I don't know about you guys, but like.
Well, no, 100%, and that's also a huge nitpick. The fact that
that seems like a good job. It's not a bad job. I know it sucks he's in the cubicle.
Well, no, I was saying,
That's the job.
added on nitpick is how the fuck that he gets promoted for literally doing nothing and talking back and not necessarily talking back, but smugly talking back to the bombs.
He tells him he does 15 minutes of work a week,
and he gets promoted. And those guys who work their ass off get fired.
But remember, it's not a lack of motivation. So
right?
They even challenged him.
The last one I have here is Chosky's would not be open that early because they start at 9. It's pretty apparent before 10 or at 10 they're going out. Those places do not open till 11. I know this because I'm a big Applebee's guy, and that's where we go before Monday Golf, which is we go Monday Golf at 12, and 11 is right when they open. We want to go there at 10 o'clock if we could to just eat and drink, and 11 o'clock is when they open. That no Chili's or that kind of places are open at 10 o'clock.
This one's really weird. Rewatching it, David Herman has a weird fourth wall break during the software loading scene where that Monday's woman says something to him, and then he like watches her, and then he looks at the camera and stops, and then he keeps his gaze. And I don't know. There's no other fourth wall break.
But he gives a mug look to just being like this, right? And I'm like,
so I'm chasing bitches like Tom chased Jerry. I put the pedal to.
There's nothing else anywhere in the movie that compares to it. I don't understand it. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I do know exactly.
That's a $10 million budget right there, buddy.
Yeah. But why? What's the point of it? I don't get it. Anyway, the other one is Tom. So Tom goes from getting laid off to trying to kill himself to getting crashed into to a hospital to out of the hospital to a 7-figure settlement in like
a day,
a week, like tops.
Yeah.
Like however long.
We'll
Peter's.
go on the benefit around 2 weeks.
He's in the
There's
hospital.
no settlement that happens in less than a year.
Correct.
I would know this because I got in a major car accident. I was in the hospital for 10 days.
10 days.
Okay, and it took 9 months for my settlement, which was between the same insurance she had. I had State Farm, which is, by the way, supposed to be a reputable company. I still have it. Fuck you, State Farm. I'm just saying that is insane. And it was more like probably like they were skeptical or like guessing the settlement.
This man was in the hospital for 10 days. Give him a like and subscribe, please.
Thank you, man. You got any other ones?
That's it.
All right. Weak link of the film. I have Dom. That's Lundberg's assistant. He's okay. Hits him in the back pretty hard, but there wasn't a lot of weak links in this film. That's the only one I could find.
Small callback because Peter then hits him in the back really hard.
That's okay. But like,
mine's Alexandra Wentworth and doesn't do anything. It sucks. Yeah, it's original.
But the voicemail's nice, but she's not actually on.
Yeah,
camera
no, I mean.
right? By the way, I've been cheating on you.
But there's not a whole lot of weak links in this movie.
Yeah,
no, it's tough. So that's what I came up with.
What do you got?
Hot take, Joanna.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, not that she's terrible.
Jennifer Aniston or the character?
The character.
Well, I got some stuff on that later on.
Well, I mean, not to say it's like I don't know, just
kind of dumb.
I know. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. I think it is Jennifer Aniston because of the way that she portrayed the character. I think just it didn't bring as much as that I could have hoped per se, which I guess is counteractive to what I said for my recast of Tara Reid because she's worse than her.
Yeah, she is. She's just dumb and like that.
Fact.
They show no relationship development in the movie. They just watch Kung Fu fuck, and then she questions the stealing thing.
No, that's the thing. It's like shooting like a freaking rocket, and then all of a sudden, like goes. Yeah, I don't know.
Overacting award.
He saw me write a note and put it underneath Walter's door, so now they're gonna think I did it.
I had 3 nominees. I had John C. McGinley for Bob. Just the what would you say you do here, and just kind of the way he emphasizes certain things. I had Dr. Swanson, just for the heart attack. It's very, very well acted and overacted because it's dramatized. It's a little bit over the top. And then Smikowski, just how he's so pissed and goes to see them when they're at breakfast, or not breakfast, getting coffee, and just he could have just waited for them to get back to the office about the layoffs, and just he's a little over the top. Doesn't mean it's bad, but over the top.
Yeah, you guys are going to kill me, but it's Greg Pitts who's Drew. I feel like he's just way over the top.
No, I have him on mine.
Oh, he's your overacting too?
I know, I have a couple.
Okay.
He's one of mine, though, and I also have the Brian from Chosky's. He's I don't know, he's not in it much, but every little second he's in, it's just over the top of, like, what you would expect, even though, if you've ever been to a place like that, biggest asshole like that is like that, so...
That's a good one.
And I also have just Bill Lumberg.
Who do you think wins though? Do you think it's Drew? I'm not going to vote Drew just because I love him too much. I can't vote him.
Wins.
Who would win it? out of what we said, who would win?
Probably Brian, the Chotskys guy.
Yeah.
Like, but he's. The problem is, like, all of these characters are written to be over the top and overacted, right? Bob is written to be over the top, corporate, downsizing consultant guy. The Chotskys' way to Brian is written to be that way. Drew is written to be that quintessential dyed hair douchebag guy. Like, so it's tough to say like overacting when that's how they're designed to be.
If you're putting a gun to my head, Bill Lumbergh, man. Just because to be able to act.
I don't know, man. Gary Cole absolutely kills this.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, just Gary Cole. That's what I'm saying. Just for him to do what he does continuously, actively the same. And I forgot to mention in my
Thanks
research.
a bunch.
Well, I forgot to mention in my research is that there was a scene where he freaks out when they're towing his Porsche, but he asked Mike Judge to take it out because he wanted the Bill Lumbergh to have the continuous monotone.
Oh, that's cool.
style.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Wow. Okay, heat check. This may be the best heat check category we've ever had in any of these movies. I'm going to run through. I have 5 nominees here. I'm guessing we all have the same. So Drew, definitely. Lawrence, Bob, John C. McGinley, the waiter, heat check. The best part is just get a room, you two.
Hey. Whoa, hey, what's going on here? Get a room, you two.
Like that. And then Mike Judge when he's talking about the flare. So I don't know if you guys have any other nominees to throw in there.
Gary Cole, man, Bill Lumbergh. Like, so I tried to keep this one to 1, but I got 3. Like Dietrich Bader as Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like nobody else could have done that. Gary Cole as Bill Lumbergh takes it to a new level, and then Stephen Root, as I said earlier, Mike Judge absolutely loved what he did.
I'm going Lawrence. I mean, Lawrence.
Really?
Dude.
I know.
I love fucking that redneck, just like humor. In it.
Even the scene where
every single time he's in it, dude, he
steals every scene.
If you took out Lawrence and you took out Drew, what would make the movie less funny, in my opinion? If you took out Lawrence,
I get it. Even the scene where he's watching Kung Fu with Joanna, and he's, "Hey Peter, man, breast exam, Channel 9, woo!"
That's what I'm saying.
So
You take all that out, but you leave the Drew in, and you take that out. But you take out the opposite?
Pee break scene. I had the Peter and Joanna lunch scene.
Yeah, I'm right. Yep, it's
Right
their
there.
first lunch date.
You get a little bit of the what he does for his job, the Y2K switch shit. You get some of the flair talk, but like that's just
It's
nothing.
a weird conversation, and you definitely
You don't
skip
need that.
No, I don't. Yeah, I didn't need that either.
Okay, scene we would add to the movie. I have a great one here. It's a 2-parter. So I would like to see Drew and Lawrence in a scene together, like meeting the guys, going out to the bar. That'd be awesome. Or just one more scene of Lawrence, like when they're talking about with the Atlanta Jones scene, when they're talking about laundering the money.
Right.
Call Lawrence over and ask him about laundering money and his like white trashy construction worker take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want
That would be
another
pretty
scene.
good.
You see Lawrence in the fishing montage. You see him yelling through the wall the other time. You only actually get one scene of Lawrence. Or you get the second one where you watch a cornhole buddy. But I want one
Peter
more
Mix.
extended scene like the 2 chicks at the same time
Right.
with Lawrence.
Yeah.
You take out the Joanna scene, and or I make that shorter and give me another fucking Lawrence scene.
Yeah, I just want a day in the office on Hawaiian Shirt Day. They mention it. I want to see what they would have come up with, what everybody's Hawaiian shirt would have looked like. Or would Samir have like a short sleeve button up with like a Hawaiian tie? Like, I just want to know what people would have come up with.
And all they do is have people wear Hawaiian shirts while ordering Hawaiian pizza, and that was like, oh, Hawaiian Shirt Day, here we go.
Yeah, I just want to know what that would have looked like in this like structured corporate environment.
Right.
What does Lumbergh's Hawaiian Shirt Day look like?
That would be awesome. I would add, honestly, just Milton starting the fire. I just think that would just, I don't know.
Where do you do it? How does he do it?
Just not even just like watching it, like
Because he's half a retard.
Right, as I'm saying, I'm not talking like 15, 20 seconds of it like blaring up. Just like how he decides, like, oh, I'm gonna light that on fire, and just let him start in. So
I like it. Irrelevant Actor Award. I have 5 nominees.
which AKA is the Matt Walsh Award.
Matt Walsh Award. Orlando Jones, Gary Cole, Stephen Root, David Herman, or Todd Duffy. That's the waiter. I know him from places, so we gotta kind of. I don't know if you guys have any other nominees.
Yeah,
out there.
so mine is Michael McShane, who's Dr. Swanson.
Ooh.
And I know him, he's FDR in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Francis Delano Romanowski.
Ooh,
He's in an episode of
Holy hell,
Frasier,
that's a
and
great
he's
call.
Friar Tuck from Prince of Thieves.
Okay.
Could not have named him. No offense to Michael
actor
McShane,
himself,
but
yeah.
yes, that's it.
He is FDR. Holy hell, that is a great call.
Are you dense? I said I wanted you to drop dead. Now, drop dead!
That might be it. I had Orlando Jones as mine just because of the Make 7 Up Yours. He's in a bunch of shows.
He's Mad TV. That's where
Mad
I know.
TV.
Yeah.
He's in. Erica was watching a show, Sleepy Hollow, not the movie, but the show, and he's like a police officer in that.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you got?
I feel like Gary Cole's too well known to
Now
be
he
in this
is, yeah.
category,
It's Pineapple
right? Like
Express,
Talladega
and some other
Nights,
stuff. Yeah, the dad.
Brady Bunch, like.
Sorry. No, I for my Matt Walsh award, I just had Stephen Root because I just feel like I mean he's my favorite guy, as I've already talked about with King of the Hill, but I just feel
Dodgeball.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been in many things, but people will see him. He's been in a Seinfeld episode when Kramer wasn't said hello.
Who is he in King of the Hill?
He's
Boomhauer.
Bill. No, he's
Bill?
Bill. Yeah, he's Bill Dotrieve.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
okay,
not
yeah,
Boomhauer.
yeah.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah.
Actually, physically resembles him a bit too.
He's the bank manager in Seinfeld when Kramer goes in and does.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Yeah, he
Pine?
said, I never said hello.
That was $20 down.
Yeah, no, he said, hey, hello, hey, how's it going? And he's just like...
Okay, one Oscar to give. I had Gary Cole or Ron Livingston. It's tough, just because of the smaller characters. There's no Oscar for that.
This one's tough, but I gotta go with Jennifer Aniston. She's the only non-character actor in this movie besides Ron Livingston, who's great.
But he said she was terrible.
I disagree. I think
No,
when you put acting chops in this movie versus Jennifer Aniston versus everybody else, Ron Livingston's kind of there. He's great in Band of Brothers, by the way. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
He's good.
Yeah. But when you talk about actual acting in this movie, she's just a step above everybody else.
Well, no, and I wasn't saying her. I was just more thinking the character.
That's fair.
I just think the writing was just like...
No, that's fair. I'm just talking strictly acting chops. She's got she's heads and tails above everybody else.
Who do you got for your Oscar, Ray?
I had Gary Cole.
Yeah, I had Gary Cole as well. He's just... He's so great.
He's good.
The despicable piece of shit boss, and just the repetitiveness, and just.
And they did a good job of putting him in there in just enough, but not to make him completely the star. But
he'd be best supporting.
Just a hair under being a star.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Unanswerable questions.
Well, then why did I do it? Huh? Because I did it? Riddle me that!
Would The Office, the TV show, exist without this movie? So keep in mind the UK Office, the original Office, came out 2 years after this in 2002. Would it have existed? Because I know this wasn't critically acclaimed, but I don't know when the cult following happened, but it happened.
I didn't realize it was 2 years.
It's impossible to answer, but I would say yes.
Fact, if this was a
that's interesting.
If this movie,
that's a different question altogether. I thought you meant the American Office.
No, that happened.
No, if this movie nuked, the UK Office would never happen, aka the.
But this movie did nuke, but it didn't nuke. It's weird. It bombed, but it didn't bomb. I got another one here. Would they have gotten away with it if Michael Bolton didn't screw up? So he messed up that mundane detail of he put a decimal point in the wrong place. Yeah. If it actually worked like they wanted it to, which is maybe, I don't know, $500 a day or whatever, over 4 years, would they have gotten away with it? I say yes, because it took them a week to fucking figure out there was $300K missing. I think they would have got away with it.
Yeah, I say no, just because it's going to get caught eventually. I think there's a lot of hubris between
but it's fractions
Peter,
of a cent.
especially up Peter. I get it, but
that's what he says.
I mean, in Superman 3, it was discovered in a day. So
yeah, right.
I think
they got busted. I always says that.
I'm with you. I think they get away with it. But
who are the other people in Peter's hypnotherapy meeting? Because there's other two people.
Right.
That's not common practice to have other people in your therapy sessions, unless it's like in Terminator 2 when they have people watching in on her, she's like a science fucking experiment.
Right.
They would not be in on Peter's fucking meeting, dude.
No, not
Strange. And other one, this is a really deep dive. So Joanna in the car going to the barbecue, Tom's barbecue, she's got a giant Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
She's drinking it, right? It's got some ice in it. They're at the barbecue for a couple hours. It's hot there. And on the way back, she's drinking the same Pepsi. So does she get
I
a new
see.
Pepsi,
I remember
or
that,
is
yeah.
it just fucking watered
Dude,
down warm?
One of my best friends in the world, I went to grade school, middle school, and high school with him. When we were in high school, he got his license before anybody else. He would drive us to practice. We were playing baseball at the time. He would open like a Dr. Pepper on the way there. We would go to baseball practice. He would be half done with the Dr. Pepper. We'd get back in the car. It would have been, 80 degrees out. He drinks the rest of the Dr. Pepper on the way back. A can?
Gross. That's
I'm
even
not
worse.
joking. Like, it's a legitimate thing.
So you're saying Joanna was drinking the same Dr. Pepper?
Yeah,
It was just
probably.
the ice
It's
melted.
just- yeah.
It was just water
It's just
and
what
warm, a little warm.
People do it.
Hey, going back to The Office, Pam does call it second drink.
Second drink.
It's something. What do you guys got for unanswerables?
How did Peter not know how long it would take to shut his computer down? The guy's been working there for 2 years.
I 100% have that as my man. That's unreal.
Why go back to work to gut a fish after the fishing scene? What purpose did that serve? Like, other than to show, he walks in, slaps Dom on the back.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I
think
get
it's
it.
just, I think it's trying to go over the top to prove how much he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's a little weird, though. It's so out of place. Why wouldn't Peter just tell Joanna that they were drinking because Michael Smear got laid off?
Yeah.
After the night of debauchery,
You can't tell anybody, right?
What's the point of telling her? It
And
doesn't serve any
no,
purpose.
well,
right?
you just said that's
Why not
an
just
easy-
say like, "Oh, these guys just got laid off. We were commiserating."
Yeah, that's
whatever.
an easy thing to say.
Do computer crimes just go away when a physical building is burned? You guys brought this up during Nitpicks.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Apparently.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
And then this one is what I've kind of been struggling with. Was Peter really hypnotized, and that's what changed his behavior, or did he just snap when Dr. Swanson died and said, "Fuck it"? Like,
You know what's funny? I literally had the same thing. I said, "Is he still hypnotized?" And I think in a way that what you just said that rolls into that, because it's like, to your point, did he actually do what you just?
He's not hypnotized because in the bar scene when he's talking about
Correct.
getting
I
laid,
think,
he's talking
yes.
about Michael Bolton getting laid off. He's like,
He's
I don't know
not
what
snapped
happened to
up
me.
and woke up.
If you get hypnotized, you don't reference it being
Correct,
hypnotized
yes.
because you're still hypnotized.
Yep.
Well, I don't
You don't
believe in
realize that?
hypnotizing at all. But
Apparently, it works for
like,
quitting smoking.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, but I'm with you because it's
It
fun-
stopped me from liking
and
BBWs.
Well, no,
Nice.
he still likes that BBC and his a-hole.
Well, BBC. I BBC. No.
You guys ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Rest in
This
peace,
B
the fucking-
needs a C in her A.
Rest in peace, Chief.
Big black cock in her ass. Holy shit. Give me another
This
one.
babe needs a coconut in her arms. It's a fun. You should watch it.
I
Rob.
may.
Yeah.
You got any other ones, Big Ray? Okay. What
No,
memorabilia
let me this beer real quick.
do you want from this film? I had the stapler.
I think we all got that
Also,
one right.
the printer / copier, whatever the hell we think that is. Fax machine thing. Intertech coffee mug, which you said you actually was gonna buy for this.
Yeah. If I could get it overnight, I would have gotten an Initech coffee mug on Amazon.
This one I really want.
Hashtag
A
no
jump
sponsor.
to conclusions mat.
I had that on there too, dude. That was one that I really liked.
Imagine if you went to someone's house, friend's house you never been to before, and he had a jump to conclusions mat. That would instantly be my best friend.
Dude, I want that slapped on my wall. So when somebody walks in that is brand new to my house, they're like, wait a minute. You got a replica jump to conclusion mat? I'd be like, nope, I got this from the movie. They spelled lose versus
strong,
lose
yeah.
wrong.
Everybody, I wanted you both to know, everybody who's watching it, they are both lying out of their ass because clearly in the movie, they say, that is the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Well, yeah, I don't want it to use. I just want it to have.
I don't know. I
as a
kind of want to
fucking-
bring it to the office one day and be like, this is what we're doing for our staff meeting today.
It's just if
Everybody-
someone had that though. If
Depending
you
on-
had it, you would show it off, and if someone got that, I'd be like, I like
Hey,
it.
getting greasy with
You know?
Ray.
What else did you guys have?
That's it. The swing line stapler and the jump to conclusion mat. That's what
I
want.
actually had, if I could, for a great, just a nice, not even a costume, I would just wear it. Lawrence's get up in the opener. Just just those blue jeans with those boots and just that greasy, that handle sash with that, I don't know.
It's great. It looks great. Okay, best quote, story.
Yeah,
And
I
then
got
you
a
get
bunch. Yes, I am also not a pussy from Samir. We've done it a bunch here already. PC love letter. What the fuck does that mean? Two chicks at the same time, man. Take a look at my cousin. He's broke. Don't do shit. We fixed the glitch. From the Bob. Yeah.
And it's going to work
it's-
itself out.
Whoa. Kimosabi. We fixed the glitch.
We fixed the
This one
glitch.
I completely forgot about, but you know, the Nazis had pieces of flair they made the Jews wear.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Just
What? And then, we're going to federal pound me in the ass prison. I don't want to go to any prison.
He's just like, I just could have found a new job, and then you had to bring me into this. You're a bad man.
You're a
Peter.
very bad man.
And then it brings it back to
Seinfeld.
Right?
Very
bad man.
Bad man. My favorite number one I had is that the Jews had pieces of flair the Nazis wore.
Yeah, that's
so
random. I completely forgot about it. It's so out of left field, and Joanna's like, what?
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
The Mondays.
That's one that I use all the time.
No, man.
So
that is my
man.
like
I think you get your ass kicked. You said something like that.
No.
Hey,
shit, no, man.
And then if you're having a bad day, you just go into work, and somebody has a case of the Mondays. No. Shit, no,
man.
No, man. I feel like you get your ass kicked for saying something like that, man.
Yeah, hi. Great one. And then the way Lauren says fucking A. Fucking A. Fucking A. I can't even do it. It's so good.
Fucking A, man.
Fucking A has just become a legendary quote, and just the way he says it. I don't know if it's necessarily replicated and people use
You
it.
could also throw in, how are things at Penetrope?
Yeah, right.
I think fucking A, honestly, I think that they based that fucking A off of all right.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Apex Mountain, Ron Livingston.
Yep.
He's kind of a nobody.
I disagree, because he had Band of Brothers after this.
Yes, he did. He did.
So,
but would he have gotten Band of Brothers?
Not even just that, but when people think of him, the majority of people.
Okay, it is this. You're right.
But I'll give it to you, like somebody like my grandpa would not have any idea what this is. But
Let me guess, your grandpa likes World War II?
Of course.
So do our grandpas.
Right, of course. So
workplace movies? Is this the Apex or workplace movies?
No, I mean, didn't Mike Judge do another workplace movie with Jason Bateman like after this that was just as good, but as
Horrible Bosses could be up there as well.
What about Workaholics? Like the first show.
Workaholics.
I'm saying, especially the first couple seasons. Like I understand they went on for 4 or 5 seasons.
Right.
But like that first season, early second season, like
that's one that
if I had a little cousin that was 10 years old and they're like, "What's it like in the corporate world?" I would just let them watch this and be like, and they'd be like, "Is that seriously how it is?" I would just tell them yes, because of course it's exaggerated, but you do come across once in a while unfortunate people that are Bill Lumbergs of the world. So
is this Mike Judge's Apex Mountain?
Absolutely not. I think he's been consistently good his entire career.
But so King of the Hill is 97.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Can you refresh me when this movie came out?
99.
No,
King of the Hill is 97. This is 99. So you have the season 3 of King of the Hill. Beavis and Butthead has run its course, but the movie is 97, I think.
96.
96. But he reboots Beavis and Butthead after this.
Yeah.
King of the Hill is in the biggest part of his popularity, and he has this movie.
Idiocracy.
Well, that's his Apex Mountain.
No, King of the Hill, Apex Mountain.
Right, but this is during King of the Hill, so this would be.
This is the very beginning.
King of the Hill is 97.
97 to 2010.
Yeah, I was just saying, dude.
Like 13 seasons.
13 years.
But after 5 years.
Okay, so even the second year. So you're talking the third season of King of the Hill.
That's the best as King of the Hill has ever been.
It's. I mean, those seasons.
But he also did a lot of stuff with Silicon Valley. You guys seen that?
No, yeah, it's great. And like I said, Idiocracy.
Yeah, yes, that's a good movie.
That's
okay. What do you guys have for
King of the Hill?
Apex.
I'm
Mountain?
done.
So you have that for so that's not Mike Judge's Apex Mountain. You're saying
this is not no.
Mine is the actor for Samir, Ajay Naju. I don't know what else he's done since then.
Bad Santa when he's a guy.
He's the one looking at him. Yeah.
I'm not gay.
Is that?
Yeah,
is that him?
Yeah, that's him. I am not gay.
No, that's a very small part.
Leave
right?
Santa alone.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Little boy, watch. Look, get out of the way.
No, because me and Big Ray did Bad Santa.
Right.
Way back. Way down.
Watch, subscribe, and rewatch.
Yeah, check out the Bad Santa. We're destroyed, by the way, in that one.
Big time.
Both of us.
Big time.
What do you got, Story?
That's it. That's yeah.
Who won the movie?
I mean, you have to say Peter, right? Like
Livingston.
I said Peter too, because it's like the literally. It's like it starts him seeing so low.
He finally
got
so
to be high,
happy
and back down, and then he finds his happy middle. And
I mean, Ron Livingston, I think, won as the outsider, but in the movie, Peter probably wins the movie. He got to be
Gets
happy.
Joanna.
He gets Joanna.
He gets Jennifer Aniston.
He
Let's
gets
go,
to be happy. That's a lot.
Happy such a raise, making bucks.
You know, he didn't get the money, but okay, I guess Milton won kind of, except he gets snubbed by the waiter.
It's the wrong drink,
big
man.
Salt, big grains of salt.
No, but I think to be honest, I think because of course, I think it obviously all depends for everybody, no matter who you are. But Peter finds his happiness of doing the job with Lawrence, and the other guys so we'll assume he's making $50K a year, and those other guys are making 70.
Yeah.
Right.
Working for Penetrode.
And he's just like, you know what?
Everything's over Penetrode.
I'll make $20,000 less a year. I'm happy
To catch some rays and make some bucks.
Yeah.
And get some exercise.
Working outside.
We're in Lawrence, and you say some things that actually make sense, and he just says fucking A.
All right, boys. Office Space. This is awesome. This is the classic.
Thanks.
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 And it's been a complete joy.
Yeah, hi, it's Bill hi, it's Bill Lumber. Yeah, it's me again. I was away from my desk for a minute, just checking in case you called while I was gone.